This here is an example of a 3D puzzle block that I created. Using the Orbit tool, I can go ahead and show you that each of the different sides is represented by a separate color, and we are going to eventually separate them into individual pieces so that we can print them on the 3D printer. Going back to our template, okay, what you're going to do is select the line tool. Our puzzle piece can be no bigger than 1 inch by 1 inch, and the thickness can be no more than 1/4 of an inch. So for example, if I start on this corner, okay, I can go ahead and come down about 1/4 of an inch, and I can see this on the bottom right where it says 1/4 of an inch for the length. I can come in 1/4 of an inch, come up 1/4 of an inch. Okay, I can go ahead and select anywhere if I'd like, so I can go ahead and select here, but I'm not going to come in any further than 1/4 of an inch. So I can click here, and I can bring this all the way down. Use your imagination. I think many of us have seen puzzle blocks before, so you have an idea of what puzzles kind of look like. I can go ahead and click here, come down about 1/4 of an inch, click over here. I can get a little bit creative. Again, I don't want to come over more than 1/4 of an inch. I can come down however much I want, but again, I want to go back to 1/4 of an inch. And I can probably even add something here. Try not to make things too thin. This right here would be a good example. Okay, now what I want to do is this puzzle piece needs to be 3-dimensional, and this is going to be a little tricky, so let me do a couple of these just to show you. This piece right here is actually going to extend up here 1/4 of an inch, and again I can see this on the bottom right. It's going to come over. If I scroll over to the end point and then bring my line back, it'll show me a red guideline. This way I know I can click here, and this line's going to be parallel here. Coming down to this one over here, I can click here. I want to go out 1/4 of an inch. Click. I'm going to kind of scroll my mouse over here to where it says endpoint, guide my mouse, and you'll see that it kind of snaps. I'm going to go ahead and click, and then click, and I have a couple other sections that I want to extend my 3D piece to, so I'm going to come down here to the bottom. I'm going to click, come out 1/4 of an inch, click, scroll my mouse over until it says endpoint, come down until it snaps, click, click, come down 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to bring this all the way to the edge. And I have my last side over here. Okay, this is going to extend out 1/4 of an inch. Scroll my mouse over here, bring it out, and click, click, come over to here, and I want this to meet up with this endpoint. Bring it up, click, and click. So if I use the Orbit tool, I can kind of get an idea of what this puzzle piece side is going to look like. What I'm going to do is click on the Paint Bucket tool, and I'm going to assign this a color, and the first color I see is red, so I'm going to go ahead and click on red, and I'm going to paint everything that I have just drawn in the color red, so this way it is easy for me to see this puzzle piece.